Welcome. Today, we're going to tackle a situation that, let's be honest, can be a little stressful for anyone learning English. A trip to the pharmacy. But don't you worry, our goal here is to completely demystify this experience and give you the exact tools you need to feel confident. So let's dive right in. I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? You're dealing with your health, there's all this specific vocabulary, and you just want to make sure you get everything right. A lot of people feel this way, but trust me, a little preparation makes all the difference in the world. And that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to walk through the most important phrases and terms step by step, so you can walk into any pharmacy feeling totally in control and prepared. Okay, so you've arrived. You walk up to the counter. Now what? What's the best way to kick off that conversation? Let's go through the most common and, honestly, the most effective opening line. If you have that little piece of paper from your doctor, this is your go-to phrase. It is perfect. Why? Because it's direct, it's polite, and there's absolutely no room for confusion. Just hand over the paper and say, "I need this prescription, please." It tells the pharmacist exactly what you're there for right away. And just so we're all on the same page, a prescription isn't just any old note. It's that official document from your doctor. Think of this piece of paper as the key that unlocks the specific, regulated medicine that the pharmacist can give you. Okay, so you've handed over your prescription. The pharmacist might start using some very specific terms. Let's decode the most common ones so you are never, ever caught off guard. You're almost guaranteed to hear the word milligram or mg written on the bottle. This just means the dosage, basically the strength of the medicine in each pill. And this number is so important because it's all about your safety. So it's always a good idea to pay attention to it. Next up, let's talk about the actual form of the medicine. On the left, you see a capsule, that smooth, kind of plasticky tube. And on the right is a tablet, which is a solid compressed pill. It's actually pretty useful to know the difference because some people find capsules a whole lot easier to swallow. Now, this next term is incredibly important, an overdose. This means taking more medicine than you're supposed to, which can be really, really dangerous. You'll see warnings about this on pretty much every medication label, and it's a critical word to understand for your own safety. Now that we've got the key terms down, let's kind of flip the script and focus on what you might hear from the pharmacist. They use some very specific phrases to give instructions, so let's learn how to decode them. You really want to listen for the phrase, "be sure not to." This is a super common and polite way for a pharmacist to give you important advice or a warning. It feels a little softer, a little more friendly than just saying, "don't do this." It's a signal to pay really close attention to what comes next. Now, if the pharmacist needs a minute to go find your medicine, you might hear this. Just hang on there a sec. This is just a very natural, informal way of saying, "please wait for a moment." You'll hear this way more often in everyday conversation than something more formal like, "please wait." And finally, let's cover 2 golden rules of pharmacy English. I promise you, getting these right will help you avoid some really common mistakes and help you understand a basic concept of how medicines are organized. Rule number 1 is so simple, but it is so critical. In English, you always take medicine. You don't eat it, even if it's a pill you're swallowing. So the correct phrase is always, "I need to take my medicine." Getting this one little word right makes a huge difference in sounding natural. And rule number 2 is all about the 2 main types of medicine. Prescription medicine, like we talked about, needs that official doctor's note. But over-the-counter or OTC medicine, well, you can just buy that right off the shelf. No prescription needed. This is stuff like basic pain relievers or cold medicine. Knowing this difference is totally key to finding your way around the pharmacy. Okay. Woo, we have covered a lot of ground. So before we finish up, let's do a really quick review of the key takeaways, just to make sure everything sticks. Think of this as your cheat sheet for your next pharmacy visit. First, start with that key phrase. "I need this prescription, please." Second, know your vocabulary, milligram, capsule, and tablet. Third, listen for those polite instructions like "be sure not to." And finally, our 2 golden rules. You always take medicine, and you know the difference between prescription and OTC. With these tools in your pocket, you are more than ready for your next pharmacy visit. So, I have a question for you. What's one new phrase you feel ready to use? The next step is just getting out there and using it with confidence. Stay healthy, and thanks for joining me today.